Merry Porgmas, and welcome to this month's episode of Blue Sky Beauty. I'm your host Victoria Fox, as always, and this week we are covering, in honor of The Last Jedi, a Porg-inspired makeup tutorial. Now, if you follow me on social media or just know me as a person, you know I kind of love these things more than I love myself. They've been described as the puffins of the Star Wars world, and I just felt like this was a necessary tutorial to have, so let's get started.
Here I'm starting off with my basics already on, my foundation, concealer, and powder. No brows this time. First we'll want to mark out those big Porg eyes. Using Mehron's Paradise Paint in black and a thin detail brush, mark out the area around each eye, being sure to leave a good amount of space in between them. Fill the circles in almost all the way to your lids. We'll fill the rest of them in with something more comfortable later. Now you'll add some white Paradise Paint to your face with a medium-sized detail brush. This area will be concentrated around the eyes, the nose, and mouth, traveling down to your neck. These brush strokes should be quick and streaky to simulate hair. Next, I added some Ben Nye neutral set powder over the white paint to set it, so another layer of white could be applied. I then applied that layer and set it again. Using a medium brush, take some light brown Paradise paint. I mix my white and brown colors, and fill in the areas around the white paint you placed on your cheeks and forehead. Again, doing quick and streaky motions. Be sure to leave a small amount of space in the middle of your forehead near the top of your hairline. Add a mixture of black and white Paradise paint to the sides of your face, sides of your chest, and middle of your forehead, once again simulating hair. We're going for a dark gray, and it's okay to have a little white in there sometimes to break up the streaks. Now for some blending. I added a darker brown in my brown areas to give it more depth. I also added some white to the gray areas and touched up any white I had from before that may have gotten lost with all the other colors. Here we'll fill in the eyes. Using a black matte shadow like Kat Von D's Shacks, I filled in the center of the eyes with a fluffy brush. To simulate the dimensions of the eyes, I then took a gray shadow like Kat Von D's Lazarus and traced lightly around it with a thin brush. Porg eyes seem to have a ring of color around their giant black pupils, so I added a thin ring of brown around the edges. Fix any mistakes with your white paint. Using a picture for reference, I added reflectiveness to the eyes with some white paradise paint. This doesn't have to be perfect, but having a reference picture is always the best idea. On your nose, add two very thin and close together nostrils using a thin brush and black paradise paint. Using the same materials, mark out the frowny mouth of a porg. I placed my mouth in a way that would allow me to conceal my upper lip. Now using a gray shadow like before, lightly mark out the cheek and nose structure of the porg. Once again, a reference picture always helps. Add any excess fur to match up with your cheek markings. Shade the cheeks in with your gray eyeshadow, this time going a bit heavier on the color. And there you have it, Merry Porgmas indeed.
Well, here's our finished look. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any sort of ideas for next month's video, I'm looking for some inspiration, so please put those comments below. Let me know what you think if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Bye!